Property repairs are part of the game. If you own real estate long enough, something's going to break. The question is whether you come in and plan for it or it blindsides you and wrecks your cash flow. Most investors never build a real maintenance plan. They buy the property, they collect the rent, and then they just kind of hope. That's not a strategy. That's gambling. So today, I'm going to walk you through how to plan for your property repairs and maintenance the right way so you stop reacting and start operating. Hey, if this kind of straight talk is useful to you, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the notification bell so you don't miss what comes next, and share this with all your friends. If you're new, I'm Bud Evans. I served 35 years in the United States Air Force, 13 years as a police officer. I was the mayor of Cinnamons in New Jersey, and I'm an active real estate investor across 3 different states. And I founded a low-cost, investor-focused property management company built by investors for investors in Southern New Jersey. Look, I made mistakes in this business and I paid for them. What I teach comes from both. So here's a belief that most investors walk away from. They buy a property, they run the numbers, it pencils out, maybe a small repair budget based on nothing. Then they put 2% of property value per year. Maybe they just made something up. Either way, they feel covered. The property cash flows on paper and they move forward. And that's the baseline. The problem starts about 6 months in. The water heater goes, there's $800 to $1,200 right there. Then a tenant calls about the HVAC. It's not cooling you off in the summertime. There's another $1,000 at least for the service. Then more if the unit needs replacing, which can run, $6,000, $8,000. And then the roof develops a slow leak. Nobody noticed during the inspection. And then you're talking about $10,000 to $15,000, depending on the square footage and the material. Each one of those hits feels like a surprise, but none of them should have been. So when investors do not build a structured maintenance reserve and a forward-looking repair plan, they're operating on reaction. Reactive maintenance costs a lot more than planned maintenance every time. A small roof issue caught in a year is repair. The same issue ignored for 5 years, that's a replacement. Water heater that's 12 years old when you buy the property is going to fail. The question is whether or not you plan for it. Whether you're operating reactively, you're also making financial decisions under pressure at that point. Pressure leads to bad calls. You accept the first bid you get. You defer a repair that needs to happen because the cash just isn't there. Then one small problem compounds into a larger one and the snowball starts turning. Most investors I work with, the turning point is when they stop thinking about maintenance as an expense and they start treating it as an operational cost of the asset. This isn't a mindset shift for motivation. It's a practical accounting change that changes how you plan, how you budget, and how you manage your properties. Look, if you're a veteran and you want to go deeper on real estate investing with a community that understands your background and your goals, I highly recommend the War Room with David Perret. It's a real resource built specifically for veterans in this space. It's not a pitch. It's just a room worth being in. You can also find me at budevans.com if you want to work through your special situation one-on-one. It's not a sales pitch. I don't have a program. Now let's build the system. Step 1 is property condition assessment. Before you can even plan for repairs, you need to know what you're working with. If you bought the property already, get a full inspection, even if you had one at purchase. Inspections at purchase are done fast and usually under pressure. A post-purchase walkthrough can be done with a contractor or a property inspector with no real deadline, which will give you a cleaner picture. If you're looking for the age of a conditioning unit of the 5 big systems, roof, HVAC, plumbing, electrical, foundations, these are your highest risk, highest cost items. So write down the age of each one. Also write down the expected lifespan. That's going to tell you your timeline. Step 2 is building your capital expense schedule. A CapEx schedule is a forward-looking repair calendar based on the lifespan of each major system. So here's the basic framework. Roofs, 20 to 25 years on asphalt shingles. Water heaters, 8 to 12 years. HVAC systems, 15 to 20. Electrical panels, if they're not outdated, can last for 40 years, but you need them inspected. Plumbing varies widely by material and age. You look at what you have, you estimate when the system is likely to need replacement, and you start setting aside money. Now, not when it breaks. Now, most investors never do this. They treat CapEx like it's optional, but it's not. It's a scheduled operational cost, just like your mortgage payment. Step 3 here is your monthly reserve calculation. These are 2 common methods: the percentage of rent method and the percentage of value method. Percentage of rent method says you set aside 5 to 15% of your monthly gross rent for repairs and maintenance. The lower end for newer properties in good condition. The higher end is for older properties that they have deferred maintenance, so you know something's coming. The percentage of value method says that you set aside 1 to 2% of the property value per year. On a $150,000 property, that's $1,500 to $3,000 per year going into reserves. Both methods are starting points. Your actual number should be informed by your CapEx schedule, not just a formula. Step 4 is separating your reserves from your operating account. This is a common mistake. Investors collect rent, all goes into one account, and then they spend from it. When a repair like this hits, you're going to scramble. Keep a dedicated repair reserve account. Fund it every month. Don't touch it for anything except actual repairs and maintenance. This will give you operational clarity and financial discipline. You'll always know exactly where you stand. Step 5 is building your contractor network before you need it. When something breaks at 10 p.m. on a Friday night and your tenant's without heat, guys, you can't be cold calling contractors you never talked to or worked with before. You'll be paying emergency rates to someone who doesn't know your property. So build relationships with a plumber, an HVAC tech, a general handyman, and an electrician before you need them. Get bids on routine work so you know their pricing. Show them you're a repeat customer and a reliable payer. And that relationship will pay you dividends when you need someone to prioritize your call. Step 6 is your routine maintenance calendar. Preventative maintenance prevents expensive reactive repairs. So here's a basic annual schedule that'll hold up in the field. In spring, inspect the roof, clean the gutters, service the HVAC before cooling season. Check your exterior caulking and weather sealing, and walk the property for winter damage. In summer, check attic ventilation, inspect plumbing for any slow leaks, and address any landscaping that's affecting the structure. I don't like trees. In fall, service the HVAC before heating season, clean your gutters again, check the water heater and the sediment buildup, and inspect your windows and doors for air leaks. In the winter, monitor for ice dams and cold climates, insulate exposed pipes, and make sure your tenant knows what to do if it freezes. Preventative maintenance isn't glamorous. It's just how you protect your assets. Step 7 is your tenant communication protocol. Your tenants are your eyes and ears on the ground, right? If they don't report problems early, small issues are going to become large ones. So make it easy for them to report maintenance issues. Set the expectation at move-in that small problems reported early will be handled fast. Problems ignored and reported late will cost everybody. Some investors offer a small incentive for early reporting. Others just set the tone clearly in the lease and then move in walkthrough. Either way, communication is part of your maintenance system. So, as always, here's your checklist. Use this as a decision tool when you're planning for property maintenance. 1, pull a full property condition report on every system within 90 days of buying the property. Next, build a CapEx schedule that lists the age, expected lifespan, and projected replacement cost for every major system. Next, calculate your monthly repair reserve using both the rent percentage and the value percentage method. Then set your numbers based on your specific property condition. Next, open a dedicated reserve account and fund it every month without exception. Identify and build a relationship with at least one contractor in each of these trades before you need them: plumbing, HVAC, electrical, and general repair. Next, create a written annual maintenance calendar and execute it every year. Then a tenant communication protocol at move-in and make it easy for them to report issues early. Then review your CapEx schedule annually and adjust your reserves when the system ages change. Hey, look, if you got value out of this, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell, and share this with your friends. That's how you keep getting content like this without the algorithm burying it. Thanks for watching. I'm Bud Evans. Aim high, execute fast. See you on the next one.